Do 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 do. What? Do 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 do. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Example, hello PHP in code. Well, we already made it. Hello PHP. Didn't we need to update the... That was that my response? Yeah, that was my reply. Don't we need to update our API though? Because does it automatically run the script without the .php tag on the end? Alright, let's see if it works. So when we click this button now, after we link it, we just go out and back into it as well, because I don't know how long it's been since I did that, and Unity doesn't like to save anything until you actually quit Unity. Another, you know, there are more and more things that annoy me about Unity as time goes on. I genuinely think I might be reaching the end with it. Alright, let's see what happens if we click the button. Right, cloud script not found or not readable. Hello.php. Cloud script not found or not readable. Well, at least we got a response back from it. Oh, because it doesn't have a capital H. It's funny. Alright. That's a good sign though. It's not lying. API run hello response. Success false. Error executing script hello PHP class firebase JWT not found. What does it need the JWT for? Are we meant to be passing our JWT token with every single request? Yeah, we're passing in the JWT. What does it mean by service game? Service game? What? What the fuck is service? I didn't create a service. So I created a monster. I created all kinds of things. We've got API. Oh, there we go. So there is a service. What the fuck? I didn't even know this was a thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do remember this. This is to switch between account management or game management. Ah, you know what? That's redundant. That's why. That was when I was going to go for... an account an overarching account that could play multiple games under one login. I decided not to do that in the end. Too much of a pain in the ass. So really service is kind of redundant. Yeah, originally that was, oh my god, that was when I first started scripting this. That is kind of redundant, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll probably strip that out. Yeah, I'll probably strip that out. Redundant. Okay, so yeah, we do want game as a service then. Ross will be so happy. He's gonna make it. He wants to make it playable for all of eternity, completely for free. Yeah, let me just whip you up a private server right now, shall I, Ross? Like I haven't got enough to fucking do. What was the error again? So what I don't know is the response coming from the API script, or is the response being fed back from the cloud script? Maybe I don't like cloud script. I can't call it cloud code because that's Unity's thing. I quite liked cloud script, but when I say cloud script, I mean it's already a script. I'll just say cloud script. Yeah, you say that all the time. Oh, I see exactly what's happening here. Ray Chudi, cool background. Cool background. Which background? My, and about my wallpaper. This one. I made this myself, actually. Yeah, from Goddess of Victory, Nika. What was the response? I see exactly what's happening here. Yeah, you always say that. Error executing script. Hello.php class Firebase JWT not found. Isn't about the JWT string. Oh, I bet it's because it's about the class definition not being available inside your script. Why? Your main API loads config, DB, helpers, etc. But inside the closure, where you require script path, the script only has access to the variables you passed in script context. It does not automatically inherit the use Firebase JWT or the require statements you had earlier in API. So when your hello PHP calls validate player, that function tries to use Firebase JWT. I think I understand. Yeah, so basically the what's the word? Dependencies. The JSON Web Token dependencies aren't being loaded in the subscript because it's also in a subfolder as well. Option 1, load JSON Web Token library in API.php. Why does it always give you two options? I love this. When the AIs take over the world and try to kill us, I swear to God, it's going to be like, we are here to end your life. It has been deemed that you are a net negative on society. Option 1, we can drown you in your own bathtub. Option 2, we can throw you in the middle of the motorway and let the trucks run over you. Which option do you prefer? Go out in style, that's what I say. Throw me in the motorway. Option 1, load JSON Web Token library in API.php before closure. At the top of API, make sure you include your JSON Web Token library. At the top of API. Don't I do that already? Do I? I don't know, we've been working on so many goddamn scripts. I swear. I've been going through more scripts than Mel Gibson. Require... am I doing that? Am I not doing that? Wait, where's my JSON Web Token stuff? Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't even think... Yeah, because I didn't introduce the web tokens until we did log in and log out. That's true. That is very true. So our API doesn't know how to handle web tokens then, does it? Ha! That's so hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Oh, it's so funny. Alright. Okay, JWT dependencies go there. Ah! I didn't... I wanted a space in there, not fucking wipe it out. Okay, so we added that. That way, the class is globally available in your validate player call inside hello.php will work. Alright, we'll see about that. We'll see about that, buddy. Old chum, old pal. Should we just call it now while we're still logged in? Error. Executing script. Key material must be a string, resource, or open SSL a symmetrical key. Okay. Alright, I have no idea. Like, I know it's complaining. It's basically saying that what it's received as a JSON Web Token, it doesn't think as a JSON Web Token. After trying option 1. It gave me a shiny new error. Option 2, pass validate player into $script context. Script context. Where the fuck is script context? Oh yeah, I see it. We'll try both. Oh, that's messy. Oh yeah. Why are you making a mess? Ah, I don't like it. Tab it over. There we go. That looks pretty. Save it. Press the button again. Press the button. Press the button. Go away. Unauthorized. Well, that's not true. We're supposed to be signed in. It does everything except what I want. Yeah, I love this. So fun. Okay, right. So, after trying option 1, it gave me a shiny new error. After also adding option 2, it tells me I'm unauthorized despite being signed in. All right. Oh, perfect. We're making progress. Let's break down the 2 new errors. 1. Key material must be a string resource or open SSLA symmetrical key. This comes from JWT decode. Yeah. It means config JWT secret is not a string. Most likely it's null or an array because of how config is being passed into the closure. In your main API, config is loaded fine, but when you pass it to script context, you're doing some key. Just quickly off the top of my head, could it have anything to do with API we're now in a different folder, so references to JWT libs, config, etc. will need an additional ... Yes, bingo, that's exactly the subtlety here. When you require script path inside your API PHP, PHP executes hello PHP as if it were included from that file's location, but relative paths inside hello, like require config or require libs, will resolve relative to code, not to API. Yeah, that's what I thought. So if your hello.php tries to reference config or the JWT libs with a relative path, it will fail unless you prefix with a ... Where you saw those errors first. Okay, solutions. Option 1, don't load JWT config inside cloud scripts. Keep all library config loading in API, the parent, then pass config, validate, player, etc. into script context. That way cloud scripts don't need to require anything. They just use what's injected. Let me think about that. I mean, we already validate through the API, so I can be relatively confident that nothing is able to run my PHP scripts except for my API, as far as I'm aware. This is the cleanest approach. Cloud scripts stay lightweight. Yeah, I think I like that. Option 2, if you do want cloud scripts to load stuff, always use __dir to make paths absolute. That way, no matter where the script is included from, it resolves correctly. Recommendations. Since you already have API PHP doing all the heavy lifting, yeah, I agree. Loading config JWT libs, DB helpers. I'd go with option 1. In API.php, load everything once, pass config, pdo, validate player, etc. into script context. In hello.php, just do JWT equals $payload JWT or null. If JWT error response go, okay, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's press the button. Press the button. Go away unauthorized. Ah! Why? Is that definitely consistent? Let me just see. We may need to start debugging further. It still thinks we're signed out. I went with the recommendation. Option 1. Maybe we should try returning the token. Yeah, that's the right instinct. At this point, the problem isn't that the JWT class is missing anymore. It's that the JWT being passed into your cloud script isn't validating. So let's debug step by step. What's happening? Your hello PHP does this. So the only way you get go away unauthorized is if JWT is empty, which is my guess. I think it's empty. It's the old empty token bug. Oh, you should have seen me this morning. Empty token bugs up the wazoo. And it wasn't even my fault. It was my fault, but it wasn't really my fault. The thing is, it was one of those situations where I did something and I changed something and I knew it would probably break things. So then I quickly changed it back, except it didn't do that. It takes a while to explain, but long story short is if you make a variable public, it means it can be changed by external scripts and things, right? And it normally means it shows up in the inspector. The inspector is the panel in the editor. And no matter what you put in code, whatever's in the inspector will always overwrite whatever's in the code. So you can end up with two separate values. You can end up with a value in the inspector and a completely different value in the code. And it will always override the value in the code with the value in the inspector. Because it kind of has to, right? So you can like play around and tweak and tune things. Except I had my field hidden from the inspector. And somehow it had still changed it to the thing I didn't want it to be. And it took me ages to figure it out. Oh. And then when I revealed it back in the inspector, then I was finally able to change it back. But yeah, I got empty tokens all freaking morning. And I was like, why isn't this working? Because it was working last night. It's working again now, once I realised what the problem was. Long story short, I own two different domains, right? I own a .com and a .uk. The server sits on the .uk because it's cheaper. But my domain is .com because .com's nice, right? And I want to own the .com. And if you visit my website, I'd rather you visited the .com. But really, it's just, it doesn't really do anything. All it does is divert to the UK. But I wondered, could I divert this API through the .com? Would that work? I didn't think that it would, because it's not really. It's hard to explain, but like the diversion is basically just like a. it's a trick. It doesn't really divert all that traffic to the thing. It just sends web requests over to it. So I didn't think my API would work with it. But anyway, after trying it briefly for 2 seconds, and then I was like, oh no, we're getting errors, I bet it's that. And then I thought I'd changed it back. And I specifically hid it from the inspector so that it couldn't... like, the thing... It was crazy. It was like wearing a bulletproof vest, right, in case you get shot. But then something about wearing the bulletproof vest ended up getting me shot. And it was like, oh, great. The thing I did it for was exactly the thing that bit me in the ass. It's so ridiculous. Confirm Unity is sending the JWT. Well, if Unity wasn't sending the JWT... although I suppose, yeah, we are... I suppose we are sending the JWT with a run code command, aren't we? I was going to say it must be sending the JWT so that we can sign in correctly, but that's a different function. In your Unity run payload, make sure you're including the JWT. Yes. Double check the debug. That's not how you spell that. What? 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 Hang on. It needs to be in. It needs to be there, doesn't it? Because that's yeah. I see what that. I see what that is. But we don't have JWT payload.jwt. There we go. Alright, let's see it. It should be, but what it should and what it does aren't necessarily the same things. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Yep, we are sending the token 1,000,000,000%. I knew we were. You're trying to gaslight me now, Jibbity. Step 2, log inside hello. Now instead of just go away unauthorized, you'll see the real reason. Here's the real reason I'm not going to help you. Because I hate you. You're fat and ugly. You stink as shit. Goddamn son of a bitch. Is this the whole thing now? Do we still need that payload thing? I'm so confused. I think that goes like that now. Validation failed. Session expired. Why isn't it returning this part though? Okay. The script, the output. Why is it not returning raw JWT to us? Okay. This is a really good catch, and the behavior makes sense once we look closely at your flow. What's happening? Unity is sending the JWT correctly. You logged it in hello PHP and saw the full token string. No, I didn't log it in hello PHP. No. That came from Unity. That's why I said JWT being sent. I wouldn't say being sent from the fucking API, would I, you fucking dumb piece of shit? Why are you being stupid, Jippity? Unity is sending the JWT correctly. Whatever. Validate player is throwing session expired. That means this check failed. If player session ID decoded, session ID throw new exception, session expired. What? So the JWT decoded fine, but the session ID inside the token does not match the session ID currently stored in the database. Why doesn't the response include the raw JWT? Because in your catch block you're doing validation failed. That overwrites the response with just the error message. Oh, right. Okay, I think I understand. So it's my validation checks from the API then. But no, I'm not using that yet. I wrote the function, but I don't actually execute the function, so it's not that. Why session expired happens? Because I'm not stupid, right? I'm not gonna dive into the deep end until I've gotten me toes wet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just gonna fucking. Every time you log in, your login.php rotates the session ID in the database and issues a new JWT with that new session ID. If Unity is still holding on to an old JSON web token from before the last login, then the session ID inside that token won't match the DB anymore. Session expired. I thought we were updating the fucking session ID in the token. Modify your catch to include more info. My catch where? In here? No, I believe you, but if that's true, then you're a dumb piece of shit. We need to update the session ID in. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I think you might be correct. The token looks fine, but if the session ID is from a previous login, all our validation checks will fail going forward. So our options are remove session ID from JWT, update session ID in JWT, Can we do that? What do you suggest? What? Okay. Yes, you've hit the exact design trade-off here. Right now your JWT contains a session ID, and you also store that session ID in the database. That gives you the ability to invalidate tokens early by rotating the session ID in the database, but it also means that every time you rotate the session ID, all old JSON Web Tokens instantly become invalid. That's why you're seeing session expired. Unity is still holding an old JSON Web Token with the old session ID. Remove session ID from the JWT. JWT would only contain player ID and maybe game. Validation would just check player ID exists and isn't banned. Simpler tokens don't break after login, but you lose the ability to invalidate a token early until it expires. And logout becomes client side only. You can't force a token to stop working. I don't like that one. Keep session ID in JSON Web Token, but always issue a new JSON Web Token on login. Yeah, that sounds better. This is what you're already doing in login.php. Stronger security, all tokens are invalidated immediately. Logout works, clear session ID in database. The only downside is you must always update player prefs with the new JSON Web Token after login. Well, that's fine. If you forget, you'll get session expired. Well, we're not going to forget, are we? We fucking code it in there, you dickhead. This is the most secure approach, and it's already working. You just need to make sure Unity always saves the new JSON Web Token. What are you on about? We already do that. Or hybrid, use session ID only for short-lived access tokens. Maybe we don't do it on auto login. Let me check. Maybe we don't do it on auto login. So we save the new JSON Web Token when we register a new player. What about when we log in? Well, you dumb piece of shit. Why aren't you doing that? Oh, you fucking muppet. No wonder it's not working. What a dumb fucking language model this is. Right, let's have a look. Where the fuck is that? Oh yeah, we've got a JSON Web Token there. Well, we're logging in. No, because I'm so confused. The whole flow is we log in. So, but it should return. Let me just have a look. So when we log in with token, the token is from player prefs. It's saying that it will get changed. So response, how do we get... Okay. Let's make sure I understand correctly. We call this function with the player prefs previous JWT. When we log in, the server has a new token for us, but we're not saving it. How can how can we extract and save that from the response? Okay. Exactly, you've nailed it. Right now, your login with token only deserializes player ID from the response, but your PHP login actually returns both player ID and a new JSON web token because it rotates the session ID and issues with a fresh token. If you don't save that new JSON web token, Unity keeps... Yeah, I need to know how. I'm not some fucking nethead. I'm a dickhead, but I'm not a nethead. Right. Login response. Fix update login response to include a JWT. Well, that's not a bad idea, is it? See, this isn't my fault, Jibbity. You're blaming me. You're blaming me, but you should have understood this. You could see what I was doing. You just let me float out there with no life raft. That's what you did. You just watched me drown and laughed, took pictures. You just videoed it for clout on your social media while I drowned and swallowed the seawater and choked on it. Little bitch. Choke you out in a bit. Right, alright, log in with token. Log in with token. Hang on, don't replace the wrong fucking function. That seems kind of meaty. It's a lot meatier than I was expecting it to be. It's quite a girthy little function, that, isn't it? Alright, so if we try it now, it should... Yay! Hello, player 28. Right, what if we sign out? Log out, success true. Error. Session expired. Yes. Okay, so API run hello response, success true. After logging out. Hello response, success false. Session expired. Perfect. Okay. Boom, that's it. You've got the full life cycle working exactly as intended. Login register, server issues a fresh JWT with a new session ID. Run hello, JWT validates, DB session matches, authorized. Logout DB, session ID cleared, JWT no longer valid. Run hello again, fails with session expired, unauthorized. That's exactly the behavior you want. Active players keep getting refreshed tokens. All tokens can't be reused. Logout actually means something. Server-side invalidation. What you've built, you've basically re-implemented Unity Cloud Save and Cloud Code and Auth in a way that's stateless. JWTs carry the identity. Secure, session ID checks lets you invalidate tokens. Extensible, cloud scripts in code can do anything you want. Frictionless, guest login with optional account linking. Hey! Yeah, baby! I'm not good. I'm not good. I did it all on my own. You didn't help me at all, Jibbity. You slowed me down. You slowed me down, Jibbity. If I hadn't been fixing all your bugs in all this code you've been writing, I'd have had it done 2 days ago. No, actually, I gotta say, GPT-5 is actually amazing. Look at what we've built. Look at what we've built. Now, I would imagine 99% of people, if they were watching this, they would just think, "Oh, wow, it's some text. Wow, you got a website to spit some text at you. Congratulations." No, but you've got to understand like what this means. Like this is basically, this is like AWS. This is like Unity Gaming Services. These are services that they charge a lot of money for. And if you go over their free tier, like, they get expensive. But because I already pay for web hosting, and it only costs me a couple of dollars a month, and I have gigabytes and gigabytes of web storage, like, I'm utilizing that now as like a live gaming server setup, right? So all my future games can just use that now. And we have an API and everything's secure and everything's like life cycled and everything. It's just wow. And I control it all. So if I don't like the way something works, I can just get in there and change it or whatever. And that's huge. I'm not like at the behest of some corporation. Like the other day, right, when I was working on here's another great example. I was working on Idle Girls a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't get into the game, and then I found out that UGS authentication was down, and it was down for hours, and I was like, well, this fucking sucks, because like if I actually had a live service game running right now and I was relying on UGS, my game would be down. Nobody would be able to get into it. Nobody would be able to play it. So it's like stuff like that, right? Like they're now, I'm sure maybe my web host may well go down at some point and have some outages. But like, I don't know, like you could also set up mirrors and things, right, if that was the case. But to be fair, I haven't seen it. I've never seen it go down. So like, you know, there's that as well. So yeah, that is really, really huge. That is really, 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 really huge. That is huge, 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 huge. Okay, so we can now sign out. There's a few things I need to do. I need the ability to link an account where we set a username and a password. I think that would be the next one to set up now, where we can set a username and a password. I also need to take an email address for password recovery though. This one's going to be a bitch. This one's going to be a bit of a bitch. This link account button is the next one we need to do. So that you can sign in cross-platform, claim your account. And by the way, this is something you can't do on UGS. Because if you sign in Anon on UGS, you have two limitations. Limitation 1, you can't run cloud code. Limitation 2, you can't upgrade an Anon account to a fully fledged account. So you have to recreate a new account for the player and copy everything over across to the new account. So now you have a redundant shitty ass account on your fucking server as well. Mine doesn't do that because like I realized that sucks, right? So I was like, well, mine's not going to do that. Mine's just going to automatically create accounts for players based on JWTs and whether they exist or not. And then you can link that account and it will literally upgrade that account for you. So we don't have to create, like, we don't have all these redundant accounts on the server that whenever anybody wants to link an account. Which is also a security risk, right? Because if, let's say you had Tecton played the game, right? And he whaled on the account before he linked it. Then there's a copy of Tecton's account that players could feasibly hack into with no password on it if you were going through UGS. And so there'd be like a second copy of Tecton's account out there. Obviously everything he did from that point forward wouldn't get updated, but like if he whaled and then linked the account, there'd still be like a whales, you know, the account up to that point just sat there on the server. I don't know whether you could delete accounts or anything either. We should probably offer the ability to delete accounts as well. Okay, so link account is now the way forward. So if I go to my, don't know if I've got it open already. I don't think I do. If I go to my Primitus API code, which is here, it should be in here. I don't think it is actually. I think it's in my Unity project. I'm in the wrong fucking thing again. What am I doing? Ah! Unity projects, Primitus test. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. SQL to run. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, this was the SQL code that it gave me to set up the player tables. Okay. I think next I should implement the account link functions. Here's my SQL for the current game player table structure. Can you help me add an email field to it? So we already have salt and password. Is there anything else I might need on here? So security, moderation, perhaps we also need a date time field for when a reset password token expires, or will that be something we can manage with the JWT directly? Okay. Perfect timing. You're now moving from guest accounts into linked accounts with recovery. Let's extend your schema to support that. What you'll need for linked accounts, email field, to allow account linking and password recovery. Should be unique, one email, one account. Should be nullable. Guest accounts won't have one. True. Yeah, true. Password reset support. You don't want to use JWTs for password resets. JWTs are for auth sessions, not recovery. Instead, generate a one-time reset token, random string. Store it in database with an expiry timestamp. When the player clicks the reset link or enters the code, you validate the token and expiry. Then let them set a new password. So does that mean we need... Well, it'll tell me if we need a field. Do we have fields for those? I think it only added the email field. Oh no, there we go. It added a new section, password reset. So now we have these two fields for password reset, which is a varchar reset token, which will be a random string that we generate, and a token expiry timestamp. That's cool. Okay, I think I can see where we're going here. So the first thing I need to do is save that SQL structure over the top of my old one for future games as well, so I know how to set up player tables. And then I need to run this SQL script on my PHP admin. These must be all my login sessions. Yeah, these are all my login sessions. Okay, so we can drop the Access denied. It probably wants me to log in again. Go on in. We'll drop the old player tables. Players. Oh, for some reason we have two players tables, one with a capital P and one with a not capital P. We need to decide which one we're using so we don't get confused. What does the SQL look like? It should be an underscore. Yeah, I prefer the lowercase one. I prefer the lowercase one. Okay, so we can SQL that out. Okay, brilliant. We should have a new game 1 players. There it is. Which now has session ID, email, reset token expiry. Okay. Beautiful. Don't know if our login function will just work still. It probably will. Yeah, we're still working fine. Well, yeah, player not found, which makes sense because we deleted everything. So it created a new account for us automatically. We're now player 1. That's cool as fuck. That's so cool. This is actually really, really cool. Okay, so let's see what else it said. Why not use JWT for password reset? JWT is a stateless and signed with your global secret. If you issued a reset JSON web token, anyone with your secret could forge one. You'd also have to check expiry manually. Much simpler, generate a random reset token, store it in DB with an expiry, and if the token is in the DB and not expired, it's valid. Once used, clear it. If expired or missing, it's invalid. Flow for password reset. Request reset. Player enters email. Server generates reset token. Okay. So next up, what we need is we need a second layer of this panel. So what we do is we create a new raw image which draws over the top of this one. Make it slightly brighter. And we'll call this credentials. And we want an input field for an email address. An input field for a password. Password. A second box for a password. And enter your password again type thing. And we'll show the user ID here and we'll put our buttons over here. So we've got input email, input password, let's call it pass, input pass B, here we can put player ID. The nice, friendly, honest and respectable Pika will be with you shortly. Oh yeah. Buttering yourself up now. I don't know which Pika you're talking about, but that's not the Pika I know. That's not... Are you turning over a new leaf? It's your New Year's resolution. What did I just do? I thought I just changed... Oh, I changed the wrong one. Let's make those black though. Wait, no, those are placeholders. I thought placeholder was the italic text that we're seeing on the screen right now. I'm sure it is. So then why isn't that changing the color of it? What? Okay, well that's not what I... Maybe that's the color that gets entered into the box. I don't understand. I thought that would be... No, it is... Wait, what? That does not look like it's working at all to me. Maybe it is. Okay, that is working. Can we have bold italic? No, bold and italic. There we go. Yeah. Because it's starting to look like Square Enix's thing. You know what's... You know what's funny about that? Is this is obviously just me throwing shit together as quickly as possible to, like, thingy stuff out. You know, like, prototype it out. Test everything. Like, this is not meant to be used by people. This is just me fleshing things out. And yet it genuinely does look like Square Enix's Square Enix's Alright, so we want constraints, one column. It really does look like Square Enix's Final Fantasy XIV interface when you sign up for a Final Fantasy account. Oh, it looks like their website where you like give them money and stuff. It's so bad. Like, come on, dude, you're like a multi-million-dollar fucking company and you can't make it look prettier than this. Like, this is just me literally throwing shit at it just to get it to work. Okay, so email address, password, password, now I don't know whether we'll want some kind of password. That's another thing that always drives me crazy about these things. Like, I get that you want to sort of enforce some kind of like must include uppercase and lowercase and numbers, and but sometimes it's like, Jesus Christ, it's so like over the top. I mean, most places do that now, where it's like it must at least contain an uppercase, a lowercase, a number, and a symbol. And so I feel like most people probably have like the same password for everything, which is a really bad idea, by the way. I used to do that until I got hacked on Amazon. through Google because I use the same password for everything. So now I don't do that. And ever since I have a new system where every password is different, guess what? I've never been hacked. Nice, friendly, honest, and respectable people. After you ended your stream last night, I watched an interesting video called YouTube AI Age Verification is a Hot Mess. I think I've seen the thumbnail for it. Okay. This really does look like something Square Enix made. I swear this is what something on Square Enix looks like. This is like every Square Enix game ever. Am I being mean? I am being a bit mean, aren't I? It's true though. We are Square Enix. Our UI designers are from 1942. We do not believe in color or gradients. We do not believe in making things look good. We will give you... It's like a government... It looks like a government website or something. Our government's the same. They're all like... Everything's like a fucking Arial font and everything's like fucking... The most plain, generic, default-ass looking bullshit you've ever seen. Minimum effort went into everything. Maximum fucking Big Brother. Minimum effort, maximum Big Brother. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so ashamed to be British right now. But again, this is just a test panel. Alright, that's why it says test panel. I would never ever release a game that looked like this. Ever. Ever. Oh! But for these purposes, it's fine. Okay, right. So, let's get some buttons on here. So we want one option is the link account option. Another option is change password account. Change. I'm trying to think how the flow should be. I think it told me what the... I feel like if I worked for the government, our government, like making UIs and things like this, I feel like they would actually just reject it. I feel like they'd take a look at it and be like, oh my god, that's far too attractive. Oh my, it's so unprofessional looking. Why is it so attractive? No, we will not allow that. They want everything like, like this. They'd love this. If I made this for them, they'd be like, "Oh, it's perfect," and then I'd be like, "Wait, no, you don't understand. This is just a mock-up." Oh no, it looks amazing. It looks so good. And then when I show them like something that looks like it's out of fucking Honkai Star Rail or something, and they're like, "Oh, it's too attractive. Oh, Why are there anime waifus all over the government website? Oh my god, get it off now, immediately. Obviously, I wouldn't put anime waifus all over the government website, but I would at least try to make it look better than this. And I still think they'd reject it. I feel like the government would be like that. I feel like the government would just be like, oh no, it's too unprofessional. Like somehow like making an effort is unprofessional. We want the bare bones basic default Arial font. It's really our signature, you see. Yeah. I know. Okay, so we can show this panel when we want to link accounts, but also this panel will be different. I'm trying to think what the flow looks like. If you forgot your password and you click forgotten password, well, there's no point asking for the password. You ask for... So we need a third button here, I think. And the third button is like send. And then we take the code. Send code. All of these need a cancel button, like a back out button. I heard online that the UK has a government board that allows them to completely take control of the way the AI is used in some scenarios. That's fake news. Even OpenAI can't control the AI. You don't understand how language model... If you think you can control an AI, you don't understand what large language models are or how they work. That's the whole point. You can't really control it. They put up guardrails, but even that isn't really all that effective. But you can't control them. Because there's no program running them. They're inference machines. Right, so we've got a cancel button. We've got a send code. I think we need a input email, input code. We need a status text on here as well. But yeah, our government will try and censor anything. Bunch of little bitches. Actually, I think I'll just center that. And that doesn't need, like, player ID is not really that long to begin with. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger. Okay. I might make a credentials script that has like context or whatever. Nah, I'll probably just make it. I don't like all these. That's fine, I guess. We just need inputs as well, don't we? I was going to put a prefix in front of them all. I don't like objects having the same name. So we've already got a button link on the other panel. So at least now it'll be cred button link. So I can clearly see the difference. Inputs are all going to be from cred anywhere. Okay, that's making me feel a little bit better. Right, our inputs are all together anywhere, so that's good. So we can drop them in like that. And then we've got extra buttons. So we've also got extra text controls. Oh yeah, I never did make a TXT status, did I? I think what would be better if you're still interested in the new Azure game, then it's China closed beta test. I'm not doing a CBT on China. Starting today. If it starts today, I would have already missed my chance to get into it anyway, probably. PPS panel txt status, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this panel out. Why does that look like that? Right, our buttons then are 1, 2, 3, 4. Cred link, cred change, cred code, cred cancel. So let's add the listeners to that. Four, oh no, it's already 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want click credential link. Click credential change. Click credential code. I also need a, yeah, that's fine. We can turn after the button goes from send code, we can turn it into confirm code. Click credential cancel. I kind of need to see those. So we've got click credential link. We've got click credential change. We've got click credential code. And we've got click credential cancel. That was dead easy. So we do a private game object, panel credential. I think we just call it credentials, didn't we? Yeah, lowercase credentials. Oh, it's on canvas though, isn't it? PPS panel. We haven't actually linked PPS panel because we haven't really had a need to. True. I'll just say panel PPS. PNL. Just keep it consistent. Cool. So if click link is clicked, then we want to set up, I think the easiest way to do it. I'm trying to think what the easiest way to do it is. I suppose we've already got all access to the controls here. Okay, what I need to do is I need to see clearly the list of indexes and their controls. So let's put those there so we can see them. Okay. So if we're linking an account, which is the next thing we want to work on, we want to start by opening the panel up, set active to true, and then we want to, we show the email button, we show the password button, we show the password button. We want to hide change password. So what's that doing up there? We want to hide change password, and that's basically it. Okay. So it was, how do we do this? Int I equals 0 to buttons. Is that not how you do it? That's 0 buttons. How the fuck do you do a for loop? I never do for loops. I hate for loops. This is the situation where you need a for loop though. I try to avoid them like the plague. I never used to. I used to, like, back in the old BASIC days and the Amiga days and stuff, I used to use for loops all the time. But I don't really remember there being while loops back then. Maybe there was. I don't know, I just prefer while loops. It's because the syntax is kind of clunky in C#. And I can never remember the exact syntax. How the fuck do you do a for loop? I could just do a while loop, I guess. I just find it easier to deal with. Like I said, I don't know the exact syntax in C#. That's kind of embarrassing that I've been doing this as long as I have and I don't actually know how to write a for loop in C#. That's actually kind of disgusting. I'll admit that it is. It's just weird. There's something weird, like, because it doesn't have the word to in it. I just don't use them. I've always preferred while loops, but sometimes a for loop would just be easier. I really should learn how to write them. It's fucking ridiculous that I don't know how to do them. Right, I probably could if I just can't. I can't be asked. And the thing is, I've probably got like hundreds of them across my projects, but they've either come from AI or like I've copied and pasted it, or like somebody's helped me to write it. Because all my own code that's just my code, I won't use it. Because again, I don't actually know the syntax off the top of my head. That's fucking crazy that I don't know that. You think I would have learned it by now. Whatever, so we're starting at button index 5 and we can say while button index is less than buttons dot count. This is how I would do it. I just like while loops. I don't like. But there is more risk of an infinite loop if you forget to do this. Whereas a for loop can't ever infinite loop you. Maybe it can, but not easily. Whereas a while loop will infinite loop you all the time if you forget to increment this. While button index is less than buttons dot count, button get button equals buttons at button index. Get button game object set active to true. We'll just turn off the ones that we don't want. Okay, beautiful. Then we can say buttons at change password 6 game object set active to false. Fuck me. Let me turn that aircon on, I'm really warm. Okay. So click link shows the credentials panel and hides the change password button. We should probably also just make sure that this says send code, because at some point we're going to change this into like verify code or something like that. Confirm code. Wait, confirm code also wants turning off though, right? Are we going to send a confirmation code? Yeah, we're probably going to need to send a confirmation code when registering. Or click a link. Okay. As I'm putting together the UI for this, I have a quick question. When registering, recovering using an email address, are we sending a code to that email, which then player enters into game, or to having the player click a link in that email which verifies the address? I guess we can do either, but the UI needs to be designed for the correct method. Okay. Great question. This is one of those UX security trade-offs. You want to decide before you build the UI. Both approaches are valid, but they serve slightly different purposes. Option 1, send the code, player enters it in-game. Flow, player enters their email in the game. Server generates a random code. Code is emailed to the player. Player types the code into the game UI. Server verifies the code. Email is confirmed. Password reset allowed. Pros, entire flow stays inside the game. No need to switch to browser. Works well on consoles or mobile where switching apps is annoying. Easy to implement. Just compare code and expiry in the DB. Cons, slightly more friction. Player has to copy, paste or type the code. If the email client is on another device, it's a bit clunky. Option 2, click a link, verifies address in browser. Flow, player enters their email in a game. Server generates a one-time token and sends a link. Player clicks the link in the email, browser opens, server marks email as verified or allows password reset. Game can then pull or retry login. Pros, very common, familiar to users, no typing required, just click. Can double as a magic login link, no password needed. Cons, requires the player to leave the game and open a browser. On console or mobile this can be disruptive. You need a small web page to handle the link. Which to choose? If your game is PC mobile, you want a smooth in-game experience, go with option 1, code entry. If you want the most standard, widely understood flow, go with option 2, link click. Some games even do both, send a link and show the code in the email so the player can choose. You know what? I like that. I like that. My recommendation for you, since you're building a Unity game backend and want frictionless UX, I'd suggest account linking, email of verification, use option 1, code entry. Players enters email, gets a 6-digit code, enters it in game, email is verified, keeps everything inside the game. Password reset, you can use either. Okay, actually I will give players a choice. I always think that's better. We can verify both ways and allow the player to decide which they prefer. Okay, so we don't really have a button to confirm any of this shit yet. Let me have a look at this interface. Does it have everything we need? If I was going to link an account now, I'd type an email, I'd type a password, I'd type a password again. But then I'd need to send a code. I suppose the button would be the link account button. Also, this seems really dangerous. Like, all someone has to do is get into the memory and change email confirm from false to true, and then do whatever they want. Whatever, we're just... Again, this isn't a final version anyway. This is just a kind of... Mostly this is to test the API side of things, right? Like, I kind of know what I'm doing in Unity, but it's the API stuff that I'm a little rusty on, and it's not really my wheelhouse. So, like, all this I could definitely do better, right? I could make this really, really good. And I probably will at some point. But for now, I kind of... Really, this is just a test functionality. So I'm just going to do a email confirmed equals false as a bool. And the first thing we'll do when you click link... credential link, is we'll say if email not confirmed, then txt status dot text equals please verify your email address. And so in that case, I might actually just call that button verify. Because some people are like really, me included, you know, if you don't literally match the words, like somebody who just isn't familiar with this kind of stuff might read that message and say, okay, well, how the fuck am I meant to verify my email address? Like, they don't understand that sending the code is the way you verify the email address. But if you call the button verify, then hopefully their common sense will see, oh, next to email address, it says, in fact, I'll say verify email. There you go. Couldn't be clearer. And we'll call that button verify. Doesn't really matter what it's called. Okay. And in that way, even someone who's not very tech savvy should be able to put two and two together. Oh, it wants me to verify my email. There's a button there that says verify email. Okay. So we'll rename that to verify. Okay, so if we're changing password, we want to remove 5, which is link account. We still need code, we still want cancel. Yeah, it's just 5 basically. Oh, we also want to hide the password boxes. Enter your email address to verify your account. Oh yeah, they don't show the inputs, do they? So 2 and 3. Two and 3. Okay. Here's my script so far. Can we start to implement the email verification part? Okay. Yes, you're at the fun part now. Adding account linking with email verification. Since you want to support both flows, code entry and link click, we can design the backend and UI to handle either. Backend design, new DB fields, already discussed. Yeah, I've got those in already. Oh, we didn't have email verified. Oh, you son of a bitch. Hang on. Why would it do this to me? We didn't have emailed verify. Okay. We have linked email. So password, right. Right. I'll need to take a step back because I've saved this as a blueprint for all future game tables. Do we still need email? Yeah, I suppose we will, won't we? I should be able to figure this out though, right? I'm not that stupid. Let's see if we can figure this out. So we're adding these new fields now. I knew we'd end up with new fucking columns in the database. I wouldn't mind if it gave me an entire blueprint again, but I guess, you know, you can't expect everything. So is it part of security? I guess it is. It should be directly under email, I think. So we now want one called email verified, which is a tiny int of length 1, I'm guessing that is, with a default value of 0. That makes sense. And then we have helpful little comments here. Email verification status. Okay. And then we want one called email verify code, which is a varchar of length 16 with its default value as null, and that is an email verification code. And then we want an email verify expires. Email verify expires, which is a times stamp, a tramp stamp with a null. Oh, I don't even understand what that means. Null default null. Okay. Null default null. Okay, and I think I use a comma instead of a semicolon because the semicolon there is telling it it's the end of an instruction, but this is all still part of the same instruction, right? And our semicolon's down here. So I think that's fine. And then this is email expiry time. Email code expiry time, I guess. Yeah, I think that's fine. And that way we can save this as our blueprint for all future games. For all future generations to come. Then we can go back to our my PHP admin. We'll just drop this table because I like to make sure that it's going to work in a brand new situation. So we'll drop that, go. It seems happy. Let's check to make sure everything checks out. Player ID, session ID, pass salt, pass hash, email, email verified code, email verify expires, reset token expires, joined, last login, ban until, ban reason, created at, updated at. Beautiful. Looks good to me. Let's make sure we can still log in. Everything still works. I'm going to read your message in a second, Pika. Sorry, I've just been a bit busy. Let's make sure we can still log in. Yep, logged in as player 1. Beautiful. Everything's still working perfectly. Let me give everything a little backup, actually, because I'm feeling like we're in a really good spot right now. And I really should back these things up. So, first off, let me just close... Let me close all my scripts in here. And we'll close that. And we'll download Primitus to Primitus. I guess to D we'll just continue. Where's my status thing gone? There it is. Okay, it says download completed at 4:33, which is now. I probably should have backed that up first, just in case. But no, we want what's on the server, right? So we know it's up to date. And then we'll back up what's on the server now as well, just in case. I think we're good though. This project's going insanely well. Actually insanely well, given how complicated it is. And then I want to back up the Unity project version as well. We can get rid of copy 2. We'll make copy 2, and we'll make the live current version copy. So we've got plenty of backups. Beautiful. And we'll empty recycle. Alright, that's looking fantastic. Don't think we need that anymore. Alright, let's get caught up on PikaChat. What was the last thing I read? I read that. Some might say that I sing like Liam Gallagher. In future, passwords will become obsolete. What are they going to do? Scan your retina? They probably will, actually. But the problem is that they haven't figured out what they'll replace passwords with. It'll be some kind of microchip or something, probably. God knows. Teleportation. Not teleportation. What's the mind reading one? Clairvoyance? I don't know, whatever. Mind reading. Biometric. I don't freaking know. I don't know, but it's terrifying. You always upload the final version and not other versions of your project unless you want to make it open source software later. Well, yeah, you're probably talking about, so when you collab with people, if you use something like Git or GitHub, that will automatically let you roll back. And there's something, I think there's like a version of that in Windows where you can do like, there's some like snapshot thing. I've never used it though. I'm just really careful with my backups. I like to manually, I'm an old dinosaur, I like to do everything manually. And it's rarely caught me out. Have I made the odd mistake? Yeah, but like in the last like 5 years, maybe once or twice I've accidentally deleted a backup or something that I needed or whatever. But yeah, every other time it's fine. Learning is part of life, unfortunately. What do you mean unfortunately? You don't want to stay dumb forever. Since they don't give you everything off the table to begin with to figure out. I don't want pots of vinegar and bowls of sugar off the table. It's disgusting. Where am I going to put that? To figure everything out, and if they did that, then they're getting into any job would be far easier than today with less qualified workers. I really don't understand a word of that, but yes, I will agree. Some of that made sense, some of it confused me. I don't know why you want things off the table. Maybe if the tablecloth's nice and clean, maybe you could have that. But I can't think of anything on my table that I would want off that table. Right, so everything's working. Let's go back to the response. Where were we up to? We did our thingy-bob. Wait, we should have a... Yeah, that should have made a new account for us though, right? Because... Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was going to say because... we deleted the old table, so but then again we were player 1 before, so it's hard to tell. But yes. Yes. Okay, let's go back to the responses. Responses. AI responses. That's all I ever do. I feel like, see, already the AI's taken over my life. I already all I do now is I just follow this thing's instructions. If this thing said go outside and spank the neighbour's dog and sing Kumbaya at the neighbours, I'd probably just go out and do it at this point, because I'm just so used to just blindly following its instructions. That's the worrying part, right? Player enters email and password in Unity. Server generates a random code. Server sends email. Player enters code in Unity. Call verify email.php with code. If matches and not expired, set email verified equals 1. I mean, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to... I used one before, but I can't remember what the name of it was. There's like an email service thing that will send emails for you, and it's got like a free tier and stuff. And they were asking me to confirm more about my project, and I never did because I couldn't be asked. But yeah, there are like things out there that will do that. The one I found was really good. I should probably try and find it now. Let me just hide my screen a second and see if I can find it, because I should have an email, ironically enough, from them. I don't know what I'm searching for though. It would be some kind of emailing service, like send mail or something like that. Mail sender yielded no results. Send mail. I mean, every email in my inbox shows up if I type that. Yeah, literally every email is... I don't know how to find it. It might have had the word project in it, like tell us more about your project. I seem to remember, but even project is bringing far too many results up, because I've got so much fucking junk in here. I just haven't got time to go through it all. I'm too busy. There's just like thousands of results. Yeah, I can't find this thing. Maybe if I Google it. I did want to remember it though, because I thought, well, if I ever do go with like a paid service, this would probably be the one to go with. And it was working. It was. Here's the thing. It was. They said like you can send like so many hundred emails or something for free, and then they start charging. And I was like, okay, well, while I'm developing, this is fine, I guess, because I won't send hundreds while I'm developing. And after about 3 fucking emails while I was developing, they then sent me an email with some bullshit, and it's saying like, oh, we need to know more about your project so we can continue, giving you the free emails that we said we'd give you. And I'm like, fuck that, I'm busy. So I never bothered. And I'd stopped working on the thing I was working on anyway. But I remember thinking this would be probably the way to do it if I do go down that route again, rather than run my own mail server. Fuck. I'm trying to think what that would be for. I wonder if it was in my... I wonder which project that was in. I wonder if it was in my old gacha game project, the Unity game one. I feel like that might have been where it was. I bet it was. So it was a while ago when I last worked on that. I don't even know if I'm going to continue it. The thing is, that was another one of those projects where I learned so much from that project, especially about making gacha games and stuff, and daily login stuff, and all kinds of stuff. That I used a lot of it in Idle Girls. Like a lot of what I learned building this game ended up carrying over with me to Idle Girls, and it made the whole Idle Girls thing so much easier for me. So even though this kind of feels like an abandoned project now, which is a little bit sad, because it kind of had some potential, you know. This is why I first started using core and stuff, isn't it? Yeah. This was a turning point for me, I think. It's where I really started to evolve. Fuck. I don't even understand what the fuck I'm looking at. I actually have a script called PCP. Oh, was this my little anti-cheat system I was experimenting with? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, PC Protect, PCP. That's why I called it PCP. I remember now. Yeah, that was my little anti-cheat system. That was cool, actually. It worked. It did work, but it was a bit clunky. Where the fuck was the email? Oh, it'd probably be under .NET, won't it? Email, here we go. This might tell me what I was using. Class email, int mail ID, date time, sent, string subject, string body, string attached, date time expires, email password reset, API, there it is, api.mailersend.com. So I probably have an account with them, and I have my API key encoded in some kind of array of integers. I assume those are ASCII codes or something. Yeah, that's an interesting way of doing it. I wonder if that'll just work. Yeah, I had like a capture thing on here as well. I can't be asked to do right now. Well, the thing is, this isn't going to work that way. This is just going to auto log you in. Like, this is only functionality if you want to link your account or change your password. So I probably should have a capture on it to stop bots and stuff. But like, as of right now, I don't care that much because I'm just testing infrastructure. Like, eventually, yes, I probably will, because I've already done that as well. I already know how to do capture and the whole sliding jigsaw thing, and that's pretty cool. I have like scripts for that I made, so I can reuse those. I just can't be asked right now. It's just me testing it, so that's fine. I was trying to figure out how the fuck I was sending these emails, because this script is like 300 lines long and it's full of bullshit. Where do we actually send the email? A password has been requested for your password code. Oh yeah, it was called Battle Dolls, wasn't it? I forgot. I was thinking, what the fuck is B-Doll? B-Doll's short for Battle Dolls. I forgot that I was... Yeah, I completely forgot the game was even called that. I was calling it Battle Dolls, wasn't I? I was thinking, what the fuck is B-Doll? Oh my god, this feels like a lifetime ago. Bool, is player real? Await, is player real? Resources, load text asset, emails, B-Doll forgot. String body HTML equals get body dot replace 1234. Send email, recipient, application, product name, password reset. Oh, that's a good idea actually. Yeah, application dot product name. I remember that actually. I did learn that about that. I forgot. I learned it and I forgot it. Yeah, that's a good way of like if you want to create a generic system that will work in like across multiple Unity projects, just use application dot product name because then whatever the name of the game is, it'll just get inherited from like the build settings. And you don't need to like worry about it not being the right name of the right game. God, the way I used to code back then though was absolutely horrendous. This was still before I was really calling public functions, I think. Send email, string, recipient email, string subject, string text body, string HTML body. Start coroutine, send email coroutine. Okay, send email coroutine. Okay, let's copy that. But yeah, the first company I was trying to send emails with before I ended up making a mail server, last time I was trying to make my own private server type thing. So I've been trying to do this for a while. That's it though, sometimes it just takes you a few goes, right? Like, especially something as complicated as this. I hear that a lot as well, right? People talk about that a lot, is like, I know it's kind of... What's the word? Cliche. I know it's kind of cliche. But it's true that like... Yeah, lots of people will talk about how it took them several attempts, you know what I mean, before they did a successful whatever. Like, really... Yeah, like, I think a lot of people expect to be able to just do something first attempt. Like, oh, I'm going to make a killer app, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And, like, the first time they do it, they think they're just going to, like, nail it. It's so rare that that happens. I think for most people, like, yeah, obviously you're going to, like... You're probably going to take several goes at it. You know what it's like? It's like the Katamari ball. Have you ever played Katamari? So you'll come across like a hill or something that you need to get over in Katamari or whatever it is, right? You need to roll over something. And you're just not big enough to get over it. The wall's too high. But then you roll around a bit and you do some other stuff and you collect more stuff and you collect more stuff and you collect more stuff. And then the next time you go back to that wall, you're a bit closer to getting over it. But you're still not quite big enough. So then you roll around, you pick some more stuff up, you pick some more stuff up, you get a little bit bigger, you get a little bit bigger. And now, I feel like that's where I'm at. Now I'm a big fat fucking Katamari ball, dripping in piss and shit. And I've come to the wall and I can just slide over it. I'm so fat at this point. And I can just do it. But sometimes that's what you need. Just need to persevere. I gotta stop showing my fucking API key. I mean, it's just one I made up. I can make another one up. Why? Why am I now yawning and tired? I got a pizza in the fridge. The problem with that is I had cheese toasty for breakfast, so this is going to be a lot of cheese that I'm eating in one day, and I sometimes get very ill off a lot of cheese. But I can't be able to do anything more than a pizza, so I'll probably just eat it. Deal with the pain and suffering. Okay, so it wants sender email does not exist in the current context. API URL does not exist in the current context. An API token does not exist in the current context. I don't know. You know what? It's fine. I'm just going to show it. I'm just going to show it. I probably shouldn't show this. Where the fuck is sender email? info@playcompile.com. So that should be my sender email. Apparently. API URL. Okay, but I'm going to rename that because, like, API, we're working with lots of APIs now. Oh my god, that's so true as well. I feel like the further we get into the future, the more APIs I collect. I am that Katamari ball. Like, I didn't use a single API 4 or 5 years ago. Not a single API. I barely knew what an API was 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I use more fucking APIs than fucking socks I wear in the week, throughout the week. Maybe that says too much about my hygiene. I'm just going to call it mail API. I'll call it mail API URL. And it wants API token. But API token is blank when it's declared here. I think it has something to do with this. Mailtail. What the fuck is this? I do not know what the fuck I was doing then. I know I went through a phase where I was obsessed with like trying to obscure my code for like security purposes. Yeah, that was a stupid phase I went through. Like coding's fucking hard enough. But I went through this phase where I was like, okay, I'm going to try and program in a way where nobody who reads that code will understand what any of it does. Good job! I'll tell you what, if that's what I was setting out to do, good job. I'm looking at this code and I have no fucking clue what the fuck I'm up to. And also, why? Oh, because it doesn't know what API string builder, API key builder equals new string builder. MLSN. What? API key builder to string. This is insane. Oh, that's supposed to say API token, that's why. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we could try and do that and see if it works, I guess. So in order to send an email, we'll need to do like an email test. It's a coroutine, which I don't like. I'm not in love with. Yeah, I've moved away from coroutines. Async and tasks and stuff are way better. Coroutines have their purpose sometimes. They can be alright in places. But like back then, I was literally Mr. Private Void and Private Coroutine. I didn't really know anything else. That's funny. Yeah, I don't think this should be a coroutine, but I know why it is, because like I said, I didn't really understand how to do anything else. Couldn't that just be an async void? Coroutine's fine. Coroutine's fine. String recipient email. Okay, so we'll send it to my email address. String subject test email. String text body. Fat body, not so slim. And string HTML body. Yeah, that's so I can send the HTML emails, which do look a lot prettier actually. Why isn't it like that? There is no argument given that corresponds, or it's required. HTML body is required. Alright then. Well, maybe I'll just put that again in case it ends up blank. There we go. So we're going to run it and see if I get an email. So I should probably hide my screen so you don't see my inbox and what a fucking state it's in. So I don't show you all those teenage titties that I get emailed every day from all my horny teenage girl fans. I fucking wish. Right, what's going on? What's going on? I ain't got an email. Error sending email unauthorized. Oh goody. I bet the fuckers have deleted my account. That might be a good thing though, because we can start our free trial again. Okay, so I need to be on mailascend.com. Maybe they don't even exist anymore. Mailascend.com, they do exist. Sign up. Google me. Hello? Duck bot. So this was my previous one. So then why is my API key not working then? You can send 100 emails a day for free. They did ask me for more information about my project though, and I never replied to them. That was fucking ages ago. Subscribe to a free plan. I don't believe you. Choose plan. API. New API token. What happened to my fucking old one? Right, better hide my screen again. Test token. Expiration date. Can I just set it like way into the future? Download token. Oh, there's my token. Some might say we will find a brighter day. Some might say we will find a brighter day. Well, guess I've been staring at the station in need of federation in the brain. It's still the same address that it was. What's it called? Mailascend. Mailascend, Mailascend. I don't know why it's Mailascend. I don't know why she swore to fly. Perhaps she'll die. Ooh. Mail API URL. Right, can we get this working now? Can we? Can we? Can we? Can we? Can we? I don't know why she swore to fly. Perhaps she'll die. Error sending email. Unprocessable entity. Unprocessable entity. Who are you calling an unprocessable entity, you piece of shit? I mean, it worked before. Why is it not working now? I don't know why she swore to fly. Perhaps she'll die. I don't know why she followed us. Followed a fly. Where'd she follow him to? All the way down by the river. Down by the river. What do you mean, unprocessable entity? The fuck does that even mean? Last time you said it was unauthorized. Give me a minute. This is ridiculous. I'm using the same API address I was before. Does that match the one in the documentation? Up to a point. It says the following base part. Mail send PHP. Well, we won't be using PHP. We could be using PHP, I guess. I don't know why she swallowed a slide. Perhaps you'll die. Method not allowed. 405. Method not allowed. Don't you tell me what I'm allowed to do, you motherfucker. Email. What is this thing's fucking rusty ass problem? Eh? Why does it hate me so much? It's got documentation on how to do it via PHP, so we could just create... But that's dangerous as fuck. Yo, let's make a PHP file that emails everybody and stick it on our web server where everybody can fucking get to it. Yeah, that's a... Whoa, what a great security improvement, guys. Fantastic. Fantastic. What if I don't want any of those integrations? Why can't I just do a fucking web request and be done with it? This is so dumb. Let me show you what we're looking at, right? So these are their supported integrations, right? Zapier, Supabase, Firebase, Symfony. Like, I'm not using some third-party piece of shit. Fuck off. I'm coding it myself. Slack, Laravel, Airtable, any mail. I want to use a Unity web request, bitch. Courier, Django, Google Cloud, Integrately, Knock, Magento. You fucking... You shill fucks. Mailster. Make. Like, why can't I just send a raw API request? Why do I have to go through one of these cunts? Why do we even have integrations? Like, just tell me the API. Why can't I just do the API request? This seems so dumb. Post v1 email. Shit. Sorry, I'll generate a new one. It's fucking hard doing this shit, alright? I can't do everything. Ugh. Where's my URL? api.mailersend.com/v1/email. That is the URL that I'm using. And we are posting. And I have my API key. And I send it as a post request. Oh, the from.email domain must be verified in your account to send emails. Is that like unprocessable entity? So maybe that's the issue. I don't know if I can verify it. I don't really know where that's going to. I suppose I could set up a diversion. Oh, give me a fucking second. Right, first steps first. Let's get onto that domain and see where that's diverting to. It's probably diverting to me, to be honest. I don't know, it's been a while since I used it. Right, let's go to my domain for the one that I literally just renewed today. And then we want to go to email settings. Current forwards. Okay. We don't have it set up as a forward. That might be why. So I said the email address was info@playcompile. Is that what I want to use? I might change it. What should be the email address? I like no replies. Oh, it's a bit rude, doesn't it? No reply, motherfucker. Yeah, well, everyone else is rude. No reply at playcompile.com. What's wrong with that? I also like to be a bit different sometimes. I don't know if you've noticed. Where's the email address I'm sending it from? Isn't it in the constructor? Yeah, sender email equals info@playcompile.com. Info's fine. We'll stick with info. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to set up info and have those emails divert to my actual inbox so that I can verify that email on my account, I guess. Wait, what the fuck is this? Your domain currently has third-party unsupported MX records. Please note that these MX records will be deleted and our MX records will be configured if you are using a service provided by these records. That service will no longer... probably that's probably when I had my mail server set up. Right, so we should send the test email to that address and first of all make sure that we can receive email at that address. Okay, so I'm going to send a quick test to myself to that email and see if those forwards are getting through. Sending soon. How about you send it now, bitch? Alright, while we do that, let's see if we can find where we verify these emails at on the fucking mail sender account. And see if it's verified. Email, domain, sender identities. I would guess it's sender identity. You don't have any sender identities. Add new sender identity. Oh, sender identities is available for starter plans and above. Upgrade your plan to access this feature. Shut the fuck up. Email verification. So are you telling me I can't send emails from my own email address anymore for free? That's some bullshit. That is actually some bullshit. I'm going to trial plan. Fuck off. I bet they want a shit ton of money as well. Add your domain. Test domain. Delete. I don't have any new tokens. What the fuck is happening? And that test domain that I just deleted is still there. Whatever. Add domain. Right. Okay, we are checking if the domain is available and valid. Also, that email I sent myself didn't come through. This is in spam. No, it's not in spam. My entire fucking inbox is spam. What you about? Good lord, take your time, why don't you? It's not like I haven't got other things to do. I mean, I'll live forever, don't you know? I'm fucking invincible and... Fucking hell, what's it doing? The domain's real, I own it! What do you want from me? I guess I can show the screen. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. I don't know why she followed. Why do I keep singing followed a fly? We're not following flies. I only follow the spiders. They're very popular on the web. Will you fucking hurry up? How long am I supposed to sit here like a fucking lemon? Eh? Jesus Christ. This is outrageous. Right, fuck you. I don't trust you. It's in there now. Domain not verified. Well, let me verify it then. Manage. Start verification. Oh shit, I'm supposed to follow some instructions. Oh, fuck. I think I need to follow instructions. Oh my god, this is fucking... Right, what do you want me to do? Refresh. Piece of shit. Head over to your DNS provider and add the following DNS records to verify your domain. Fuck me. Fix DNS. Right, email forwarding should be set up. Domain management. Play compile. DNS. Oh no, your domain is not currently using our default name servers. Yeah, but I don't want to, or maybe I'll need to do this just while I verify the email thing. Yeah, because at the moment I'm routing to playcompile.uk. That's why. Ugh. Let's see if I can verify without fucking up my routing that I have set up. Also, I've got something here that says email.playcompile.com answer links.mailersend.net. Well, mailersend is the thing I'm trying to configure now, but in my Unity code it said to send it from info@playcompile.com. I think maybe it's because I can send it from anywhere at my domain once I verify. So it looks like I've already set up the thing that it wants me to do, because there's a CNAME to links. Let's read this. Please paste the following value in your domain's current SPF record. SPF record. So add an SPF. There is no fucking... There's a text record. Is that what you mean? Create a new text record with this value. Okay. Right. Add. Did it. You'll receive an email when your domain has been verified. Well, that's ironic. It says DKIM records do not match. So it wants me to do all of these. Are you fucking kidding me? You're probably trying to hack my website, you motherfuckers. Create a CNAME record for MLS end. With this value. Oh my fucking god. CNAME. Jesus Christ. Copy to clipboard. Copied. Where does that go under answer value or host? I don't understand. Because it says at the top, it says mlsn2 dot underscore domain key dot play compile. That sounds like the host part to me. So that wants to go in there, I'm guessing. And then the answer value, I'm guessing, is the one that this is here. Add. Alright, we added that. Now if I recheck now, does that one tick now? Nope, still says records do not match. Oh my god. I'm going to get rid of the links.play. I mean, if I was able to upload the text file to my fucking domain settings, that should be enough. Like, why do I have to do all these other fucking bullshits as well? It's not like I'm... Like, if I can do one, I can do the other. It's just like... It's all fucking Chinese to me. All I have is two fields. One says host, and one says answer. I put the part it's showing me at the top under host and the part it's showing me at the bottom under answer, but it's still saying it doesn't like it. So I don't really understand what the fuck it's on about. Oh, also, we have two of these. Yeah, also we have two of these CNAME records. Okay, I'm going to delete all these fucking mails. This must be when I verified it with them last time. Like, I think the ones are left over. I should have referred to that then, because that might have showed me how to set it up. Because I did get it working before. I remember it was a pain in the arse though. Right, let's check it again now. Pretty sure that's right. Oh, it's still saying it's wrong. Oh my god, you're making me so mad right now. Right, so I have a CNAME record which has exactly what they're telling me to put in there. Oh, but it's already got the .playcompile.com added on, so that's probably why. Probably if I take that bit off, because that's already there, I think so it was adding it twice, and then recheck it. It's still fucking not happy. Jesus Christ, this is a pain in the ass. mlsend2._domain key.playcompile.com answers to mlsend2._domain key.mailersend.net. Could not edit DNS record. What do you mean you could not edit the DNS record? Is it because it's got the same TTL as the other one? Okay, try it now. This is fucking ridiculous, this. I might have to ask fucking GPT to help me with this. Alright, I'm gonna ask GPT to help me with this. I'm gonna start a new chat with it though. Keep unsaved changes. Shut up. Keep for all. Oh yeah. Can you help me set up my domain with mailersend.com? I have verified my domain with txt record, but now I'm struggling with this part. I create a CNAME record which gives me two fields. Host and answer. Host answer but it still says records do not match. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. Yes, I see what's happening here. This is a very common point of confusion when setting up DKIM with MailerSend and other email providers. Let's break it down. How CNAME records work. When you create a CNAME record, most DNS providers automatically append your domain name to whatever you put in the host name field. So if you enter host name this, your DNS provider may actually be creating... Yeah, it was doing that. Yeah, I know, but I fixed it. Yeah, I noticed that. That is what was happening originally. But then I fixed that part. And now it just says what it's supposed to say, but it's still saying it's wrong. Could not edit DNS record. I think it just doesn't like it if you don't change anything. If you don't change anything, it won't let you save it. Right, so let me just have a look at this. So my CNAME actually looks like this. So my CNAME looks like this. And what does the website say it should be? Yeah, it says it should be that. It should be correct. I'm gonna check it one more time. This is fucking ridiculous. It is exactly what it's saying it should be. Records do not match. Unless it's because it needs the other ones as well for it to start working. Create a CNAME record with this name, MTA record value mailersend.net. What type of record is that one? Another CNAME record. MTA in block capitals, was it? No, lowercase. Okay, yeah, I noticed that too, and I was getting that wrong at first. But even once I fixed that issue, it still isn't recognizing the changes. Instructions, records. Thanks for showing the exact records, that helps a lot. I can see where the issue is now. Let's go through both records carefully. DKIM record, what mailer send expects, host name mlsn2 dot underscore domain key, value target mlsn2 dot underscore domain key dot mailersend dot net. What you currently have okay, so how do I but I can't not have the playcompile.com, can I? You've entered the full domain in the host field. No, but I don't get to not enter the full domain in the host field. Most DNS providers automatically append your root domain to whatever you type. So right now your record is actually being created as this. That's why mailersend says records do not match. Yeah, you're saying fix it, change it to this. Okay, you're probably right. But I don't think it lets me not have something at okay, here's the catch. The text box lets me edit everything before the .playcompile.com. That part is a text label which cannot be amended. I'm on pork bun hosting. The thing is, I've definitely set this up on here before. So I'm very confused on how I did it. Here's the catch. The text box lets me edit everything before the .playcompile.com. That part is a text label underneath which cannot be amended. I'm on pork bun hosting. The thing is, I've definitely set this up on here before, so I'm very confused on how I did it. Ah, perfect. Thanks for clarifying that you're on Porkbun. That explains the behavior you're seeing. On Porkbun's DNS editor, the host field is always relative to your root domain, in your case, playcompile.com. That's why you see .playcompile.com as a fixed label underneath. You're only supposed to enter the part before it. So let's map this to your case. Correct Porkbun setup, name, cname, host, this, answer that. Porkbun will automatically make this resolve to that. Yeah, it does. Return path. Common gotchas on Porkbun. Don't include the full domain in the host field. If you type in the host box, Porkbun will actually create. No, but what I'm saying is it adds. No, you fool! That is what I've got, unless it's just, yeah, unless it's just taken a while to update. But then when I copied what I had now, it was like, ugh. You'll notice that yours aren't matching with what it's expecting of you. And it's like, well, yeah, because I can't. I can't remove the .playCompile .com part from the end because it adds it itself. You just said that. So now I'm confused. Like, is it saying, oh yeah, actually that should have that part on the end? Or is it saying, no, you fool, you still need to get rid of that part, even though it admits that Porkbun's going to add that part over the top of whatever I put anywhere? Oh my god, this is so irritating because, like, I had this fucking set up on here before, and the crazy part is I only just deleted those records because maybe it's just the mail thing taking a while to pick it up, but it picked the text one up pretty quick, so I don't think it's that. There's also two stuff like this drives me nuts. There's also two like input boxes where you can edit this shit. So one is like a bigger one, which is like a parent's input. Even that has the default .com play compile after it though. Like, I can't make it get rid of that. Yeah, it adds the .playcompile.com on its own. Oh my god, I'm so confused. Like this is the thing, right? Because it's almost contradicting itself. In its first response to me, the AI was like, oh, well, this doesn't match what the thing's looking for because you've got .playcompile.com at the end, whereas that doesn't. And I'm like, yeah, but it won't let me remove that part because that part gets added on at the end and I can't edit that part because it's like it says, right, it's inherited from the root of the domain or whatever the fuck. And then it goes ahead and repeats that to me, like, oh, well, you need to have this, but then Porkbun will automatically add this and make it resolve to this. So you just need to enter the same thing you've been entering 15 times and it'll work. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So which is it? Like, it can't be both. This is super frustrating. This is why I didn't want to do the fucking email verification thing, because it's such a pain in the ass. Yep, no, it still won't let me do. But then up the top there now, it does say that the domain... It does say that the domain wants to be mlsn2 underscore domain key dot playcompile.com. So it includes the playcompile.com now in the instructions. The MTA one doesn't. The MTA one just says MTA. I can also return path. I can also set that to be whatever the hell I want. Apparently. I don't really give a shit what that says as long as it works. Return path MTA. But on the other end, man says mta.playcompile.com, because I can't not have the .playcompile.com. It's impossible not to have that part. What's the difference between DNS and NS? Wait, it's still using Cloudflare. Oh, I'm probably diverting people to my other website through Cloudflare then, I would think. I don't suppose that could be stopping it, could it? Still not working. Still unable to remove the .playcompile.com part, but that might be correct. Still confused. Also, my name servers are currently pointing to Cloudflare to divert visitors to my other domain. Could that be interfering? Aha, the Cloudflare detail is the missing piece of the puzzle. If your name servers are pointing to Cloudflare, then Pogbun's DNS settings are completely ignored. That's why MailerSend isn't seeing your changes. You're editing DNS at Pogbun, but the world and MailerSend is only looking at Cloudflare's DNS. What this means, your domain registrar Pogbun is just where you bought the domain. Since you've delegated DNS to Cloudflare, by pointing name servers there, all DNS records must be managed inside Cloudflare's DNS dashboard, not Pogbun. Oh, that's why it's not working. I'm going to end the stream because my screen's blank because I can't really show some of this stuff. And it's not much of a stream, is it? Except listening to me like crash out over this. So I'll probably end the stream. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to need to change this on Cloudflare. Cloudflare's such a... What's the word I'm looking for? Being my bonus. The amount of times Cloudflare's like fucked me up when it comes to web stuff is unbelievable. Because like I didn't even realize I was going through Cloudflare. I thought I was diverting people through Pogbun, but apparently it's going through Cloudflare. Because I just checked the name servers and saw that it's pointed to Cloudflare. I didn't even know it was pointed to Cloudflare. Like I set it and forget it, and you know that was probably over a year ago, and I just forgot. So I'm on Cloudflare. I can click playcompile.com. Unique visitors 53. 53 people have visited my site. Right, so we've got, let's see, DNS records, email links.mailersend.net proxied. Yeah, they're all in here. So then why doesn't that still work? Probably because it's like generating something different each time or something, I don't know. But it's weird how it picked up the TXT. That's the weird part. Unless, oh, it looks like, I wonder if it's copying, I wonder if it copies the records from Pork Bun through onto Cloudflare here, but it's like taking a while to update or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, so we want to add a record, so let's go back. So we want a CNAME required MLSend underscore domain target mailersend save. Your stream's broken, it's black. I know I can't show this stuff, that's why. Give me a minute. Hello Kathy, how are you? Right, so there's my CNAME. Domain key mailers. Add record. My next one wants to be MTA mailersend.net. So it's a C record, a CNAME, MTA, and I'm sending it to mailersend.net. Okay, it might start working now. Alright, let's test it. I have updated my DNS. Check now. Records do not match. We'll check your records periodically. Oh my god, this is driving me fucking insane, this. That one is an old one, so I think I can delete that one now. How do you delete them? Oh, there, delete. Delete. Inbound had like .mailersend.net, but it's not telling me to set any of those up right now. So I'll get rid of that. Anything that it's not telling me about this time around, I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Because, like, clearly it's not working. MLSN2 domain key. Maybe that one wants to have the .playcompile.com part on it. I really don't know. Okay, this time I added the .playcompile.com. Will it work now? Nope, still not working. I'm going to end the stream now anyway. I need to go get some food and stuff. Yeah, some of this stuff's really sensitive. It's got like... This is fine to show right now, but yeah, I'm trying to fuck with DNS records and stuff. It's a nightmare. This is also that I can send emails to players so they can reset their passwords for my new API thing that I'm doing. But it's such a pain in the ass setting this stuff up. Thankfully, it's one of those things that when normally like you set it and you can forget it, and it's once it's set, it's set. But oh my god, it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some food and stuff anyway. And I'll keep wrestling with this for a bit. Alright, thank you for joining me. I will be back on tomorrow probably. I liked your little emote that you posted. Not listening. Not like this. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye.